Hi, and welcome to the A Quilting Life podcast. I'm Sherry McConnell from A Quilting Life.
And I'm Chelsea Stratton from Chelsea Stratton Designs.
And today's podcast is airing on Monday, March 27th. We are on episode 79, and we're taping this just a few days in advance.
We are.
It's a beautiful spring day here. We've had lots of rain. We're really excited for all things spring. So, and just before we get started, I just want to mention Cozy Earth. They are a sponsor of our podcast. And with spring comes the time to refresh all of your linens and different things in your house. And Cozy Earth is the perfect place to go if you're looking for new towels, new sheets, and other products to refresh your home. The Cozy Earth products are made from ultra soft viscose from bamboo, and we love Cozy Earth products.
We do.
And remember, with Cozy Earth, you can use the code AQuiltingLife, all together, one word, no spaces, for 35% off your purchases site-wide.
So exciting.
Yes. Okay.
Who doesn't love refreshing for spring?
I know. I'm excited to.
I'm going to go home and change my sheets, Mom.
That's sort of what this episode is about.
Sneak peek. That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah. So let's let Chelsea start it off. She's got quilts today.
I'm so excited. So excited. So I'm just going to dive right into it and just tell you all the things about these two quilts because you kind of get a double dose of maple leaves today. Sorry, guys. On the wall, we have Fall at Home, and you might recognize my signature log cabin look from my Hearts at Home quilt pattern. And so I designed this log cabin quilt pattern with maple leaves in the center, and the original Hearts at Home had hearts in it. And so this one's different. It has leaves in it, and I love how I designed it and did the construction on it. And it's fat quarter friendly, which is a lot of fun because I wanted to be able to use all of the different prints in the collection from this one. And then we have that I did a border on this one. Normally I don't do a print border.
I was so surprised.
I know, guys, I'm branching out. And Marion did the quilting on this, and it's so pretty. It's just like a lot of movement with swirls and leaves. She did a really great job. And Mom did the binding on both of these quilts. I just have to note very quickly.
The one on the wall up at like 10:30 last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is the bomb. So
thank you to American Idol and The Voice
for keeping her entertained
while I bind.
While she binds.
Yeah, the one on the table was during American Idol, I think.
The one on the table is much smaller, so it probably went quicker. Yeah. Okay, so on the table we have autumnal, and it's simple leaves and plus blocks. And the thing that I love about this is I get so many questions from people. Hey, do you have any beginner-friendly patterns? Beginner-friendly. This is for you. It's so much fun to make. It uses a full fat eighth bundle, so you get use out of all of the fabrics in that. And it's beginner-friendly. So if you're someone who has asked me about a beginner-friendly quilt pattern, this is your quilt pattern. But I enjoyed making both of these, and we will have those linked in the description, right, Billy?
Yep.
To find the patterns if you want to purchase either of these.
And the past Thursdays, we released a video on, what's the name of it again?
Autumnal.
Autumnal.
Yeah.
That's right.
Autumnal?
Autumnal.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it autumnal or is it autumnal?
It is autumnal.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe we should look it up.
But see, this is so funny because I have a pattern called Promenade. And my brother called me, my younger brother, and he was like, Chelsea, it's Promenade.
It is Promenade.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, no, that Phantom of the Opera movie with Gerard Butler, they sing Promenade. And Sean goes, oh, Chelsea, it's Masquerade in the movie. And it's not Promenade. So
it was, you were just hearing the wrong word?
Yeah, I was saying it wrong the whole time because of this Phantom of the Opera movie.
Well,
Do you want me to go look up the pronunciation, or does it not matter?
I don't think it matters because honestly, it could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mom.
People
We're going
name
to talk about that in Big
make whatever
Magic.
you want. Okay.
Make whatever you want.
Yeah.
because as a former teacher, you'd read a kid's name one day and they'd be like, "No, that's not how you say my name." And I can't be like, "No, it's pronounced this way," because a name is a name, right?
Right.
So
Okay,
whatever hit
perfect.
that student's parents wanted to name him or her, then
Yeah.
You better not
was their
cut
name.
this out.
Yeah.
Do not cut this out.
we won't. I won't.
Okay.
None of you guys got my spiel on Phantom of the Opera.
So do you have some new finds or some
Yes.
old favorites today to share?
Yes, I have some new finds. Very quickly, I did a little shopping. I had a Fat Quarter Shop gift certificate, and I just was dying to see these two new books. Fruit Salad by Joanna Figueroa. So genius.
Good.
So good. 7 different fruit blocks, and she's got quilts for all of them, and then also smaller projects like table toppers and table runners. And she has some cute pin cushions in the back where she half-sized the blocks and made these pin cushions. But what I was thinking was it would be genius to make pot holders with the blocks just as they are, full size.
Oh my goodness.
My new summer pot holders. It's going to be our fabrics, but it's going to come from these cute blocks.
Oh my, Joanna
it
is
so
the queen
much.
of fruit.
So, and it's super fun too because back when I was sewing for her, I actually pieced her original cherry quilt and her original pear quilt.
Oh, cool.
When back in the day. So this was, I don't know, a little walk down memory road. I had to get this book. So.
And
then
her collection, though, is out for that, right?
Is I think she has a collection by the same name,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone wanted to know.
Yeah. And then Susan Aki, Summer Memories. I had to. Great book. Lots of cross stitch.
I did a little shopping.
Yeah. I don't have time to cross stitch right now, but beautiful cross stitch. But there are also beautiful quilts in this book. And I love everything Susan does. So, yeah. So that's my shopping. And then I have 2 books. I'll do this one first because I just started it, but
Mom has me so freaked out about laundry now, you guys.
oh my goodness. So I bought this book when it came out, I think a year ago, because I heard about it from somebody. I can't remember who. But then just the other day, I heard my friend Kristen Esser talk about, and she had read it. And the things she said made me run to my bookshelf, get the book, and put it on the top of my pile. And I started it last night. I'm only 30 pages in, but I love this book already. It's written by a man who has a long history with textiles. He loves textiles. He studied textiles in college. And he is telling you everything you need to know about laundry, what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, how to save time, how to save money, how to be. I'm just loving it. And from the perspective of a quilter, too, we care for our fabrics and our quilts. And so I'm super excited to finish. It's a pretty quick read and loving it so far. And then Big Magic. A fun fact, I bought this book on March 3rd, 2019 at Powell's Bookstore in Portland Airport, PDX. Yes. And
Was I with you?
I that's what I'm trying to wonder. Were we there together on a March trip?
No.
What month was it?
We must have gone at different times.
This might have been my quilt retreat to the coast when I bought this.
Okay, no, because I've been to Powell's in that airport.
Yeah.
And I've been to Powell's
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, we've both been to the other Powell's.
Yeah, Powell's was incredible.
Yeah. But I loved finding the receipt in the book. But anyway, I actually had read part of it back then. I feel like I read some of it on the airplane ride home. But then I don't know, I set it aside, and I read this book in 3 days last week. And I just want to read something just really quick. So this is by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's also the author of Eat, Pray, Love and several other books of fiction and nonfiction. And this book is for anyone who is a creator, a maker, an artist, in any field. It doesn't have to be quilting or writing. It could be anything. But the subtitle is Creative Living Beyond Fear. And this book is just wonderful. And I have half of it underlined now, but this part I just thought I'd read a little tiny bit. It's in a chapter called The Central Paradox. And she talks about how your creativity has to be the most important thing in the world to you. And at the same time, it must not be the most important thing to you if you're going to be sane in all of this. And so the part I'm going to read just says, it matters, it doesn't matter. Build space in your head for this paradox. Build as much space for it as you can. Build even more space. You will need it. And then go deep within that space, as far in as you can possibly go, and make absolutely whatever you want to make. It's nobody's business but your own. And it just resonated with me because I'm right in the heart of designing patterns for a fabric collection this summer. And it really is about what I want to make and what I love and what I, deem that fabric to speak to me. But it did make me feel good that Chelsea saw a few of my early designs and liked them. So
I love them.
The Dropbox.
But I also love that not being afraid to create and not letting any outside voices affect or make you fear to create anything.
Exactly.
What kind of creative world is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, highly, highly recommend this. I think what I'll probably do once a year is just go back through and read all my underlined passages.
Oh, yeah. So Mom bought me the book.
Because at first I was going to let her read mine, but then I couldn't give it up. I was like, I just got to buy her own copy. So
yeah.
Early birthday.
And just Mom talking about this book, Big Magic, I just recently had a pattern, Regal Pines, and this pattern is my own unique pattern that I created and designed. I wasn't inspired or didn't copy anyone. And you may have seen this. I'm only going to address it here once. And it's actually right behind me. And unbeknownst to me, it looked similar to another quilt pattern. And I made a slight adjustment to the pattern. It's so pretty. Mom already quilted it up. And it was complete happenstance. And so because of the social media backlash that I received, I made that adjustment. And I apologize for being emotional about it. But I just appreciate how kind and loving and sincere people were to me concerning this pattern and knowing that I would never copy another person's design. And I hope none of you ever fear creating something or that you would let someone stop you from creating or doing something that you love. And so
That's so well said. So well
thanks.
said. And the goodness was so good.
Yeah.
The goodness was so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of really awesome people and kind people, despite some of the really, really hurtful messages I received at that time. And so Billy and I will actually be doing a video of Regal Pines soon. The pattern's almost ready. People have been so patient, and I'm so grateful for everyone that has messaged me about wanting to get the pattern. And we're grateful
to Val, who got it quilted up
so
quickly.
She did. It was all hands on deck, and Val had amazing custom quilting.
Yeah.
And it's really, really beautiful. And I'm grateful for just all of the amazing support I had in all of this. So keep creating and keep loving what you create and keep believing in yourself and moving forward, because there's room for all of us and there's space for all of us in this creative world. And keep those questions coming about wanting to be in this creative space, because I'm your biggest cheerleader if that's what you want to do. And yeah.
Awesome. I love that.
Thanks.
Thank you. You inspired me. Okay. I think that's all of my early.
Got everything new that you want to share?
Everything new. Yes.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, we're going to do more listener quilts during our first topic today. and we'll have some pictures popped up on YouTube and everything. So we'll sort of skip that, and I'll do my little segment, which is, well, here, I'll break the news. The first thing we're going to talk about today is my mom and sister, was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago, made a trip down to Southern California to visit a quilt guild, and they're going to talk a little bit about that. But during the same time they were gone, I actually attended a podcast conference in Las Vegas, so I didn't have to travel anywhere. That's one of the reasons I went to it. And I had been wanting to go to a conference for some time now, but so this was the first one I was able to go to. Learned a lot of things. I know that doesn't really have a lot to do with quilting, but I did want to mention a couple things, and I don't know if we'll have a survey available to take in this episode in the description. If not, it'll be the following one. I haven't talked to my mom
I can
enough.
make it pretty quick if you send me the questions.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So there should be a survey in the description below, and it'll just have a few questions. And the questions I'm curious about from learning at this conference is what platforms you listen to the podcast on. Now, obviously, I know a lot of people watch it on YouTube, and I think this podcast is set up well for that because we do display quilts, we put up pictures, we do things like that. But I know that some people also listen to it, and I'm just curious. I can see a little bit of data about where people listen to it from, but I'm curious about what players you do listen to it on, what social media accounts that you like to get information about podcasts, things like that. It'll all be on the survey. So it was basically just trying to get some listener feedback to see what's best for you. And then here's the big one, and because at this conference it was sort of thrown at us a lot of times. But one of the questions will be basically, do you or do you not use TikTok, or do you use TikTok for any other quilting material or quilting content? And I'm just curious. I'm not saying we're going to make a TikTok or that I'm going to. Neither of you have a TikTok, right?
No.
Yeah, and I don't either. And who knows if it'll even be allowed in the United States much longer. That was a question that was brought up as well. But I am just curious because I heard so much about it, and I was thinking, well, I don't know if our audience uses it or doesn't. So this is just to find out, and then once we get the information, we can sort of decide what to do with it. So anyway, I really enjoyed the conference and hopefully got some ideas that can help improve the podcast. I got some more technical stuff answered as well, so that was good for me. But so there will be a survey in the description below, whether you on your podcast player or underneath on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind filling that out, that'd be a great help to me moving forward.
Okay.
Right.
So now we're going to recap our Beach Cities little guild trip. And this was really special for us because we actually visited the Beach Cities Quilt Guild in February of 2022. And so to be invited back in March of this year was a real treat for us. Just grateful beyond measure for this guild is just incredible. They are like, I don't know, I learned more. I mean, now we've been twice, but I saw even more of what they do for their philanthropic arm and their charity giving, and just how good and kind they are, and just really, really appreciated. We had a beautiful dinner with them, and then we gave a fun presentation on scrap quilting. That was a lot of fun.
It was really fun.
How many suitcases did we have? 6?
Oh my goodness, 6. Just filled to the brim with quilts. And we got to share everything, which was really, really great. And they just have it set up so well. And there were so many women there, and Just, it was really nice. They have just a good thing going there and just really, really great.
Yeah. And
great people.
The community center where the event was held is just beautiful.
It's so nice.
A wonderful stage, and the classroom where we had the class the next
was
day.
in that building.
Same building.
As well.
Beautiful. It did rain a lot, but I never mind the rain.
Yeah, we don't mind.
Yeah.
Because we don't get it. But then we have gotten a lot of rain here recently. So.
Yeah. But just, we should have brought our bags that Nancy made us.
I know. But we will pop up a picture.
We'll pop up a picture. Chelsea took a picture of them.
The sweetest ladies in this class. And Nancy made us these beautiful bags and had these charms put on the zipper, like for a zipper pull.
Yeah.
And just beautiful. And
Yeah.
she's so talented. So many of these women are just so they're all so talented.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun, too, because we had a lot of people in the class who took the class last year and brought back we had a few quilt tops that were finished, and some were even quilted, and just fun to see the same faces in class again. And you just kind of felt like you weren't just walking in to a room full of strangers.
And that we recognized people.
We recognized people.
But yeah, Mom taught her Balboa quilt a year ago, and they were showing, some of them were bringing their tops, some quilted, some just the tops done, and even some with some really heartfelt experiences and messages attached to them.
Yeah, and then
well.
And do you have some pictures of with those? Okay,
Billy's going to be showing all the pictures.
Yeah,
because there's some good ones.
And there was a great version of Chelsea's community quilt that was shared with us. We got a picture of that, and then was it Magnolia, the Quilts of Valor? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a Quilts of Valor quilt donation that they used her Magnolia pattern for that was just gorgeous.
Which is so fun for me because most of the quilts I see done like up of my patterns are on social media because we're not traveling really at all. And so to see them in person, that women had made these quilts was really cool for me. Yeah. And I loved that.
Yeah, it was just a wonderful experience.
We just have
the guild president. We have to give a shout out to Carrie. Yeah,
I could hug her right now. Yeah, she's wonderful and she knows why. And just
she's incredible. Yeah.
So the first night when you were doing scrap quilts, were you just showing like a trunk show of your scrap quilts, or did you talk about?
Basically, yeah, we did a trunk show of our scrap quilts, but then we also talked about tips and ideas for storing your scraps, organizing your scraps, saving them, sewing with them.
And honestly, I kind of wish we had a video of it to share on the podcast on the YouTube, just because we get so many questions about scraps.
I saved the outline that I typed up that
you did?
Yeah.
We should do a live stream or something.
Future episode about it.
Yeah. Because we get so many questions, and we really went into themed scrap quilts and just true scrappy and all the different things that people ask about.
Yeah, that would be a fun trunk show to do as, maybe even a live stream.
Yeah.
We'd have to get helpers to hold the quilts.
Their poor arms.
Yeah.
Isabel's new days off are Sunday and Monday, so have to be a Monday.
Have to be a Monday. Yeah, and then the class I taught was my Home Sweet Home row quilt that I made with our favorite things fabric, and it was really fun because we had 20, maybe there was just 19 in the class, 19 or 20 in the class, and a few made with Christmas fabrics, other collections, and some used totally different collections, but it was really fun. Several people were using Simply Delightful.
They were
also mixing Simply Delightful and Emma and some earlier. It was just so fun to see all of those quilts.
There was a red, white, and blue one.
Yes.
Like 2 of those.
Yes.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah. So much fun.
And they were fast too.
Yeah.
These women had these blocks.
Yeah.
Zoom in.
Yeah. It was fun. There are 7 rows, and so we spent a little time on each of the rows, and we had a beautiful lunch and really, really wonderful trip.
And then I think you guys should mention that to the listeners also that you had you guys are lucky to be back here in one piece because you guys ran into some weather on the way home.
Weather
right?
on the way home.
The weather was kind of crazy.
It was raining
Yeah.
a lot. And what I didn't think of, I kept checking the temperature because I was worried about snow going through Cajon
But
Pass.
that wasn't the worst.
The issue was fog.
Was fog.
Yeah.
You could not see right in front of you. And I'm just like holding on, and Mom is just like driving. We have all these quilts in the back. Like,
I'm like, well, we're not going to be cold if we had to pull over. But it really wasn't cold. The temperature was in the 50s, I think, but it was the fog.
Lots of rain in California lately.
Yeah.
Lots and lots.
You're going about 5 miles per hour.
Maybe less.
Really?
Maybe less.
It was crazy.
Yeah. On a good day, it takes about 4.5 to 5 hours to make it from here to there, and it took us 7.5 hours or something like that.
Well, we had friends that just went to California, and it took them 9 hours, but that was because of a wreck, so not the weather.
Yeah.
Well, glad you guys made it back.
Yes. Okay. Are we going to move on to our topic now?
I'm very excited about this topic. Can I just say the topic?
Yeah.
Okay. So, raise your hand if you get excited about spring cleaning? But like,
I didn't raise my hand.
Billy did not raise his hand.
He's like, no, I will not. Anybody else
Maybe
out there, raise
to,
your hand, please.
Maybe this is the time to talk about the cleaning club.
Have we talked about it on here?
I don't know.
Yeah, we have.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For longtime listeners, they might know what we're talking about.
Long story short, Billy created a cleaning club when we
were all kids
in middle school, and his brothers and sisters had to pay him money to be in the club, and then
they would clean my room.
Cleaned his room.
Yeah. So, it was a great business strategy.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Before you dog Billy, he actually he's a really great brother, but very clever, I will tell you, because I was so excited about it. But in defense, I genuinely liked cleaning as a kid.
You did.
And my mom can attest to this. I would be like, can I please organize your pantry or the game closet? Or I would spend 5 hours rearranging my room. So this is why I'm so excited about this topic. So let's get into it, because if you love it or don't love it, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and quick story about Chelsea. When she was in high school, if she wanted something, she would organize my pantry while I was gone. And then I would come home and, look what I did, Mom. And then, can I go to this party tomorrow?
Yeah. Can I go hang out with my friends tonight? Can you buy me this new CD?
Yes.
And usually I got what I wanted. But there was effort in there.
Yes.
So it's spring, okay? And we all know what that means. We're going to talk about some spring cleaning tips today and just talking about tidying up our sewing space. And I'm kind of excited because I haven't been to the house since I noticed Mom rearranged her sewing room.
Yes.
And I love it. I have
you.
to tell you, I really, really like what you did with moving things around in there.
Thank you.
And so generally, it starts to get warm, and I feel like some people start to get the itch. And I'm getting there right now. I'm finishing up a couple last quilts, and I'll start really spring cleaning. But you start moving winter stuff out, spring clothes in. I've noticed my kids can wear shorts, but we're going to talk about the sewing aspect of it. So since you actually rearranged your room already, what did you focus on to like declutter, and what was like your end goal? Like, what did you feel needed to be changed?
Yeah. So, and I actually wrote a blog post on this.
Of course you did.
And I actually wrote it before I did it. And then I followed my
own advice.
Good
for you.
And Billy can link the blog post in the description. But the blog post is called 5 Decluttering Tips to Help Purge a Fabric Stash.
Okay.
But it can also apply to the whole room or a space. But the first thing is to name what matters. And I take that phrase from Kendra Adachi, the lazy genius. She always, any podcast or any chapter of any book she writes, she always talks about naming what matters. So what is important to you in your sewing space? And I just wanted, I wanted some clear surfaces so that I had I have kind of this center island where I do most of my work, but I have this other table too, and it's usually really cluttered. It actually kind of looks a little bit cluttered when you probably saw it because we filmed yesterday and I just put a bunch of stuff there, but that stuff will all be gone soon. So what I mattered to me was that I wanted 2 spaces clear, and I wanted to keep my ironing board clear and things like that. And so if you think, I think a little bit about that, and you could apply that to decluttering your fabric stash too. What matters to you? I love holiday fabric. I love bright fabric. I love, think about what fabrics you really and truly love.
I like that you're putting it in spaces.
Yeah.
Because that helps me a little bit. I like that.
Yeah. And then number 2 is gather supplies, which for me is just a donate box and a trash bag. And it's actually rule 4 is that there's no maybe box. So there's trash, there's donate. And if it's keep, you put it where you're going to keep it. Oh, I don't know.
Just like real trash?
Just like real trash, I guess. Maybe boxes.
True. That
you
take
don't
up so much space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I need those boxes when sometimes I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think sometimes if you go into clean or declutter and you don't have a donate box there when you're doing
You'll keep it.
You just keep it and think, I'll donate that later.
Yeah.
So that's super important. But then I love the container principle. This is from Dana K. White, who wrote the book Decluttering at the Speed of Life. And she really does talk about all of our spaces. A shelf is a container. A drawer is a container. A box is a container. And our houses are even a container, literally.
Our houses are a container.
And you can't have more than will fit in a container, right?
Yeah.
So you really have to think. And she talks about, taking everything off of the shelf, putting your favorite things back on. And if it's not your favorite, consider donating it or throwing it away or giving it,
Yeah. Giving it to a friend.
Yeah. So I thought about that while I was cleaning up in there. And yeah, I have a whole box of fabric. So a friend of mine who does my hair, she has a teenage daughter who loves to sew.
She does.
Yes.
She loves to be creative in general. And she's a sweet girl.
Yeah. And actually there's a woman out here who teaches sewing for young girls. And so my friend's daughter takes this class. And so whenever I have fabric that I think that she might like,
you give it to her.
I give it to her. So I have a really big box the next time I go.
To give to her.
She's
going to be so excited.
Yeah. And then I just tell her, if there's anything you don't like, just give it to your teacher. And she can distribute it among other students.
Do it really. She's awesome. She's so kind.
So I'm so excited. I have because sometimes I'll just take a couple charm packs over or a jelly roll or something, but I have a box for her. I'm so excited.
Oh my goodness. She's going to be really excited.
Yeah. But those are just things that I kind of feel like an 11, 12-year-old girl would like, the colors that I feel like, she would like. So. Yeah.
Mine was just purple, guys. Mom would say, Chelsea, what kind of fabrics do you want in your quilt? And I would say, just purple, Mom.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, as far as cleaning up in the sewing room too, I feel like I just wanted to make it look more open so that I have more space to work was kind of my goal, and have more things in closets and drawers that are used less often.
And I like this because it's so mom's space is obviously different than mine. And so my closet is like half of just like regular closet, but most of it is storing like fabrics and things. But I have several bins that I don't touch. And you get in your head, oh, I'll get back to that. I'll use those fabrics. But am I? Is it realistic?
Right. Yeah.
Or is it just sitting there in a container?
Right.
Inside of a container.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that this is kind of a self-reflection of what are we actually going to use? What is good to donate? What is, Yeah.
And there are so many places that will take fabric donations.
Yeah.
So there's always a place. Yeah. And then I'm actually right now I have this other closet. It's mostly where I store patterns, but it has some fabric in there, and I emptied that all out the other day because we're getting the shelves painted, and the previous owners really I think it was the boys' room and the closet.
That closet, you're getting that painted?
All the shelves repainted.
Oh, good.
And we added a couple more shelves, but
good.
Yeah, it was in very bad shape. So in the process of taking things out, I thought I'm going to be so intentional when I put them back in.
As you should.
Yes. So there might be a lot of donation stuff that doesn't go back into that closet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's bolts in that room too, isn't there?
Oh,
Or did you move those out?
No, those are just out on the bookshelf. Those are fine. Those are
Okay.
staying. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Well, that's what I need to do is declutter. So I won't say that I've done mine yet, but I do like taking it all in spaces. And I feel like I do have a few spaces that definitely need some decluttering and spring cleaning.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to, so I'm just finishing up the last of my quilts, and then I can clean and get ready for the next time.
Yeah. Don't you feel like you clean up after every batch of quilts?
Every batch of quilts.
Yeah.
And I'll do a quick sweep after each individual quilt.
Right.
But it's not intense.
Right.
But after I finished like a collection's quilts, I do go in and clean and vacuum and dust and do all the stuff and get ready, because our sample yardage we're like filtering through, and then I need to move it to make room for new sample yardage.
Right.
And we should be getting even some of that soon.
Yeah.
Mom has designed quilts for it already, and I haven't even touched it. So
I'm not done yet, but I have, because what I usually try to do is do like 6 or 8 and then pick my favorites. Yeah.
I like that you've already put them in the share folder, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, along these same lines as spring, and this was actually Billy actually does our outlines. He said, talk about what fabrics and quilts you will be displaying this spring season.
I'm so excited because I already did it.
Oh, okay. So what do you have? I'm in the process.
So you want to know what was actually helpful is going to the Beach Cities Guild.
Oh.
Because I had already filtered through so many quilts and made a mess of my armoire that keeps all of the quilts. And so in the armoire, there's 2 different spaces, and I organize the bottom half is organized all by holiday or theme. And the top is only spring and summer quilts.
Oh, okay.
So I really can pull from a plethora of quilts.
Yeah.
But a lot of those scrap quilts I ended up putting in the basket and hanging up on the ladder.
Oh.
And because they're all springy and happy, but I did keep out specifically like my Hearts at Home 2 and my Hearts at Home. I love bringing those out. But Mom and I, for a long time, most of our fabric collections were spring and summer.
Right.
And so there really is a lot to choose from, so it doesn't really matter like which ones that I pull.
Right.
We have just now moved into themed. So like all of
doing
my
a few and a couple in a row of themed.
Yeah, all of
Christmas
my
and
Sincerely
then fall.
Yours. Yeah, all of my Sincerely Yours is put away. All of like I'm not gonna keep Bountiful Blooms out in the family room right now.
Like this print,
That one, yeah.
if you
true.
mix it with different fabrics, that says spring and summer to me too.
Yeah, summer. I really like this one for
Yeah.
summer, end of summer.
And
Actually, you could though.
Yeah.
You could do early spring and summer and early fall.
yeah,
You know, so I guess you could. Yeah.
because I'm actually getting ready to make a couple things and for my decor.
What are you coming up with?
You know, table runners.
Of
and
course.
stuff.
Placemats.
Like this is it. You know, this
Yeah.
to me says the season right now too.
The aqua really, people liked that.
Yeah.
That we brought that into this collection because
Yeah.
it brightened it up a bit. It wasn't strictly fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have some of Vanessa's Country Rose collection.
So pretty.
Actually, that's a little bit more spring to me.
Yeah.
But a lot of those prints coordinate with Bountiful Blooms.
Bountiful Blooms.
And so I'm going to mix them and do some stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should share about it on the YouTube.
The thing is, we had a table It actually used to be up in this podcast office/office. Remember the table that I had back over there?
Yeah.
Before I bought that little cabinet. So that used to be up here, and I put it downstairs, and it now I need table runners for it for every season because it never had table runners before. So
let me get my checklist out, guys.
Yes.
Every season, every holiday.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
No.
what fabric is Hearts at Home and Hearts at Home 2 in?
Hearts at Home is Walkabout. And that was a really long time ago. And I felt that those were spring. We did a lot of pinks, reds, greens,
Clover Hollow
navy.
really says spring to me. Harper's
Clover
Garden
Hollow.
kind of says summer.
The front porch.
And then Summer Sweet, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those quilts.
But have you brought out your spring quilts yet?
I really haven't. I'm actually I'm getting ready to get some more ready to donate, and so that's kind of my goal actually at the end of this week is to if I can do this. I plan on taking every single quilt out of the 2 closets.
Oh no.
And the Christmas are all together, the 4th of July are all together, the fall are all together already. But the rest, I feel like I'm going to do it by collection, our quilts.
Ooh, you want to know what we forgot? Happy Days.
Oh, yeah.
Is the best spring and summer collection.
Yes.
And my botanical garden quilt will most likely be out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody said the yellows in this collection would make great for a sunflower quilt. And I thought of my botanical garden quilt pattern.
Oh, that would be fun.
And I thought I could do a runner with just some of the flowers and do sunflowers. It would be so pretty.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel also a lot of my scrap quilts are very springy. So almost anytime I do a scrap quilt, I'm making it.
That's why I kept mine out. Is I'm like, they're mostly all spring.
Yeah. Let's
But
see.
I will say this. We've had kind of some strange weather where it's cooled down a little bit. And so I'm hoping that it gets a little bit warmer. Like it's cold today. It's actually kind of chilly today. But so part of me is like, no, I still need sweaters and stuff. But spring also brings spring traditions. And in this town, let me just tell you. So my husband, we just started our Little League baseball season. And opening day was actually this past Saturday.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Well, no, because we're taping this early.
Oh, we're taping this early. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
we're
gonna say, I thought it
taping-
was Saturday.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we're taping this early. It's this coming Saturday, but we have, so our games start, and it's a long season. It goes all the way through May.
Oh.
And there's more games this season. So we've been doing practices, and it's so fun because we have this whole team.
You have to send me a copy
Oh
of
my goodness.
Finn's schedule. Candace sent me a copy
Oh,
of Jace's.
of Jace's. I'll send you a schedule.
Okay.
It's going to
Are
be
they
a
in
lot
the
of
same
fun.
league? Maybe they play each other.
He might be T-ball because it's his first year.
Oh, that's right.
Finn
Okay.
is coach pitch.
Okay.
So that's fun, but also we have the Clark County Fair coming up that we've probably talked about it before. But what's really cool about that is people can enter quilts into the Clark County Fair, and there's a lot of women that submit their quilts, and that's really cool that they do that.
Yeah, it's always fun to walk around and look at those.
We love the fair.
When I'm here for the fair.
Yeah.
We actually leave town a lot for the fair now
We
that we're
actually-
older. So,
If you're there for a churro,
yeah.
you're in for a treat.
So the traffic, our old house, the traffic was terrible. We couldn't really get out of our neighborhood when the fair traffic was there. It's a little better
But
up
now
here.
we don't have to worry.
It's a little better here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you've ever mentioned it. So the Clark County Fair, Clark County covers, my mom and sister live in this small town out here, but Clark County also has Las Vegas in it, which is over 2 million people now.
Yeah.
And the fairgrounds are out here, and people from Vegas do travel out to go to the fair on those weekends. So it can get quite busy out here.
Yeah, and they have a rodeo that's on the national circuit. So we actually get, for the rodeo that happens during the fair, we get people from all over the country and all over the world coming to compete.
Did you get Isabel rodeo tickets yet?
Nope. I'm not going.
Isabel really loves the rodeo. She likes horses a lot. So
Well, yeah, but
Wasn't that one of your first dates? Was like Clark County Fair?
I brought her out here the first year we started dating.
Yeah.
And then
That was the first time we met her.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last time, then I think it was about 5 years. And then I went last year. I didn't go to the rodeo, though. I went to the fair with her and some of her family, and then hung around with her nephew and took him on carnival rides. But now I feel like I'm good for another 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not coming this year.
Yeah.
Billy's like, I'm not going.
One of her sister-in-laws gives me a lot of crap about it because she's like, oh, your family's out there, you went to high school out there, you should, why don't you go? I'm like, because I've had my fill of the fair for a lifetime.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
already had
Isabel
your
and her
dose.
family do enjoy it.
I mean,
So I'll probably be out here again someday for it.
yeah, we've lived out here 25 years.
Yeah, a
so
really
that's
long time.
25 fairs.
And
a
here's
lot of
the thing.
fairs.
My mom was a trooper. She got us carnival ride tickets every year, and we just got to run around and go on the carnival rides. And she would walk around with my youngest brother, and the older Billy and Candace got to just go off with their friends. They were old enough to be with their group of friends, and this is like our life out here.
Yeah.
And she
But
did it
sorta
every year.
It does let you know spring is here out
Yeah,
here.
it does.
That's
It
when
does.
you know
Yeah.
it's springtime.
It does.
And spring for out here, it can be very hot during the day, but cold at night.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the fair at night, it's chilly.
I even worked at the fair for
Yeah.
a couple of years.
Yeah.
Mom is laughing because what happened. I'm going to share this story really quick. Billy can cut it out if he wants.
Well, this is like free advertising for the Clark County Fair.
Yeah.
Maybe
See?
some people are intrigued by this and they want to make a trip to the Clark County Fair. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you, my mom is a really good mom. And at the time, I didn't think so. But I went over on a cell phone bill. And she said...
That was before we had unlimited texting.
Yeah, this was before the days of unlimited texting.
Yeah.
And my parents confronted me and they said, you were responsible. You took the responsibility of, hey, I'm going to text this much, so it's your responsibility to pay us back. And I did. I went to the Clark County Fair and I worked at this little pizza trailer and I earned the money. But let me tell you, I figured out I liked working and I figured out I liked making money. And so I immediately went into a town. We had a local sandwich shop and I worked there for 4 to 5 years after that.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed having a job and paying. I would buy my own school clothes. I'd pay for my own gas after that. And now I still like working. So, Mom, thank you.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
and then I think that led your younger brother to work at the fair. He worked a couple years at
He
the
did.
Texas Twister
the
booth
Texas Twister.
doing
You guys,
lemonades.
if you go to the Clark County Fair, get a Texas Twister, okay?
They're very good.
Yeah, very, very good. But no, we're excited. Spring is here and lots of decluttering. And hopefully Mom's tips are helpful to you and that you can feel a little bit refreshed this spring season.
Yeah. And our next episode will actually air on, April 10th.
Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy.
It really is weird to me because it's almost April. What is
know.
happening?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just want to hang on to these days because I always say from October to May is why we live here because we have beautiful weather.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's like sliding into the heat. So I just have to enjoy the rest of March and all of April. So
Yeah.
And then just a reminder again that the survey will be there. If you could take that, that'd be great. And then also a thank you to all of the subscribers to the podcast and those of you, again, who sent super thanks to us on YouTube last episode. We do appreciate that.
Thanks so much for stopping by.